There you are, Pop-Tarts. It's time to make hummingbird cake. People online and in real life have been asking me to make this for years. And sometimes you just get wrapped up in whatever it is you're doing, and then like the season passes and you're like, crap, I didn't do that. We're doing it today. Now, I'm making a different size batch than you, but I'm going to say and put your ingredients here on the screen. So, in my mixer bowl, I have 3/4 of a cup white granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup, you want dark brown sugar. I only had light brown sugar, but I'm gonna add a little molasses to it. That is basically the difference. That way the flavor's about the same. Both sugars are in the bowl. You need 1 cup of oil. Put that in, and you know we're gonna start to mix those up. So hummingbird cake, honestly, has a very similar makeup to a carrot cake. When I looked at the recipes, I was like, oh, okay. So we're gonna mix those up. Then we're going to add 3 eggs. I have written things down here so I make sure I get it right, because this is my first time making hummingbird cake. But like I said, it's very similar to carrot cake. Hummingbird cake is a southern cake that has that like rich caramelly kind of flavor with those warm spices, pineapples, pecans, all the good things. Okay, eggs are in and mixing. Again, I have things prepared today. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Some recipes have coconut in them, but when I've heard of hummingbird cake, it does not have coconut. But again, there are variations on everything. Okay, so while that is mixing, you want to get 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt going in. Then the recipe calls for 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. I don't have or use allspice, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit of nutmeg and a little bit of ginger, and that's going to round out the spices. I would avoid clove here. Clove takes over, and we want the hummingbird cake to be even softer spice-wise than like a spice cake or a carrot cake. Next, we're going to go in with our bananas. You need 1.5 cups of like a mashed banana kind of puree. That's about 3 large bananas. So I just threw mine in the food processor. It's okay if there are some chunks it's gonna break up, but I like to go ahead and we're gonna add that now. I feel like texture wise, we wanna get that incorporated before we add in the flour or pineapple. All right, we're gonna do flour next. 3 cups of an all-purpose flour. You do not wanna use cake flour here. Cake flour is a softer, more tender flour. This is going to be the heavier cake, like a carrot cake or spice cake. All-purpose is a better mix. We want it to give it that stability so that we don't have cake collapsing on cake. Currently, our batter looks pretty thick and, as the English say, kind of stodgy, but we're going to add our pineapple. You need 8 ounces of crushed pineapple. I am using the can for this because that's what the recipe says, instead of like making cutting mine fresh, because I like to follow the recipe the first time. Do not drain it, juice and all. There's not a ton of juice in the crushed pineapple. Just make sure you get it in like its natural juices and not like heavy syrup or anything. All right, that's brought it back to life, and now it's time for the pecans. So I toasted mine ahead of time. You need 2 cups chopped. So a little more than that if you're toasting them whole. You don't have to toast the pecans if you don't want to. That's up to you. I just feel like toasting them kind of brings out more of their nutty flavor. Here we are. And you want to give them a good chop so that each slice gets a piece of nut, but you don't get like a whole pecan. Again, when you slice your cake, if you have whole nuts, they could drag down through all your layers, and then it makes your slice not as pretty. And while that's not the main Goal a pretty slice. That's one of them. All right, our batter is done. So I'm going to put this into my cake rounds and bake them at 350 degrees. I will let you know about how long they take for me to bake so that you can adjust for you, and then we'll be back. Here's what the inside of the hummingbird cake looks like. I've just leveled off the top. You can see the pecans. What you can't see is the banana and the pineapple. I guess you can see a little bit of pineapple right there. This is a very dense cake, which is not a surprise. All that moisture from the bananas, all that moisture from the pineapple. I've never had hummingbird cake. I did make this recipe for a friend for her husband's birthday. They really liked it. They got theirs with regular buttercream. I'm doing cream cheese with this because that's what it seems like it's normally served with, and I feel like that will help mellow some of the flavors. So yeah, we'll keep stacking and I'll show you when it's all done.